Hello, it is your sleepless god again. I am sorry. I went on vacation with I went out with my family and I went, tubing. And I'm old as fuck. And I wrecked up my fucking knees trying to stay on this. I was trying to impress my family. Fuck, I got wrecked. I got double cheeked up on a Saturday afternoon. This fucking hurts. But I'm gonna make you a video because I'm not that fucked up. But this is what if Gilgamesh was in Harry Potter's body. We're just gonna keep on lengthening it out until I get to the point where I'm at that point. So last time we left off, we talked about, Harry being with those two houses, being with Slytherin, being with Gryffindor, and how it's different because he is in. For the Gryffindors, they respect him because he has those balls, he has the fucking grit and determination to do that, and they respect that. But they also kind of, they're wary of him. He's still a Slytherin, and their Slytherins hate him because he's a Gryffindor, because they can only see the red robes. They can't see him as a Slytherin. Sub 1. Snape in potions class enjoys Harry for the reason why is it's different from the first time he met him. Because the first time he met him, he was trying to bully him into submissive. And Harry didn't take it. But in this time, he didn't. He tried to bully him, and Harry, instead of getting angry, instead of being snarky, he answered the question. Every single one of them perfectly. Showing them he's just like Lily. In a way. And he respects that. He also kind of got a crack out of, James Potter's son being in Slytherin a little bit. And he also helped Neville Longbottom with his potion, giving points to Slytherin. And then with the brooms, he did very similar activity, except he actually fly in the air with no broom. And we'll talk about that later. And caught the Remember All and give it to Hermione to give back to Neville. And that's when Professor McGonagall saw him and said to follow him. Now, Gilgamesh, even now, because Gilgamesh understands the scale right now as power goes. He understands he understands that physically, maybe he's not the fully powerful as he was, but he is second, he is at least third to second most powerful person here on Hogwarts. But in the scale of teachers, McGonagall's ranked 2. It goes her and Dumbledore. That is the rules of them. So he is fucking a little bit in his mind scared as McGonagall's talking I would have never imagined she opens the door to Snape's potion room when he's not teaching any kids. Snape, we must talk. As Snape looks at her. He sees Harry. What did the boy do now? As McGonagall smiles. I want to take him as my seeker. As Snape opens his eyes wide and smiles, but also sneers. You see it in his eyes. He's trying to function. McGonagall, I would have to see his abilities. He's also part of he's like, Snape, you're gonna take the boy away from me? Yeah, you've seen. I'm the one who scouted out. I'm just going to ask you. The Snape, kind of leans back in his chair. Can I see? Can I see his abilities? As Harry looks at him and she says, "Show me what you just did." Harry says, "Okay." As he walks out, out to the grounds. As he flies, just naturally, and Snape eyes goes wide. He says, "Unassisted. Fly around, Harry, please." As he zooms, he almost disappears from their sight. Just boom, flies around everywhere and lands. Snape says, "Can I make you a deal, McGonagall?" As McGonagall says, "What?" If we're racing against Gryffindor, he's allowed to come with you. But if he's, facing any other school, why don't he comes to mine? He says, that'd be unfair, Severus. I'll take Harry for this year, and we'll see what he does. We'll take him for the second year, why not? We'll just pass him around. As Harry's like looking at them too, like, what the fuck? Both of you are crazy. As deal, as they both shake on it. Says, "Harry, welcome to the Quidditch team. I'm gonna, as the normal thing happens where he gets a leader of the Quidditch team. They both talk. He learns how to play Quidditch, and he shows that he is the youngest seeker in a century. Probably okay. This is not a. This I'm guessing. This can be a theory if you really want it to be, but you got to think about this. Okay, youngest. So usually it never happens. First person to come in a century. Well, Dumbledores are around Harry's age around this time, 100 years. Honestly, it might be Dumbledore. I'm joking. But, it might. You got to think about these things. But as Slytherin is, particularly Malfoy is worried. In the sense of the word, because he saw him fly. He saw him do the things that he did. That was unhuman of him. As him and, obviously Malfoy doesn't know directly, but he's scared of what Harry can do. As, Harry and obviously, Wood trained on the side as a secret. He told Hermione, he told Ron as well, but as a secret, he trains on the side. Still gets all his work done straight A's as well, but Harry likes flying. Even I think it's just his genetic code. He feels like it's genetically altered for him to love to fly. Now, he hasn't looked at the full rule book yet, but he's probably going to see if he can cheat. But he is master flying. He is as fast as anyone else on that team, and he catches the snitch quicker than anyone else. Even on a shitty broom, even when, everyone else is, blind to react, he is just on it every time. What happens also during this time? I'm trying to think. He does everything else naturally. His classes with Snape are a lot more easier now because him and Snape have a natural relationship now. Snape likes Harry. Likes is a big word. I don't think likes, but respects Harry for what he can do, and understands that Harry is a prodigy, and he likes prodigy. He gives a little bit less attention to Malfoy, and that's good for him. That's good for Malfoy as well. Still does his normal stuff. Professor ends the dark arts training and everything like that. He still gets notified by the newspaper that someone tried to break into Gringotts and failed and to steal anything. Now, Harry back then was making theories about, oh no, who would it be? Harry now knows. Okay, think about it. Okay, small stuff, a small item has to probably be a stone, a metal, a material, has to be something worth a lot to be put into a Gringotts vault, and it's protected by Dumbledore, one of the strongest wizards in the world. Now let's think about this. Okay, can only be a couple of things. His number one is the Sorcerer's Stone. Helped him make it with Nicholas Flamel. He read that on a card. He has a memory of, he does not forget shit. Okay, number two could be a rare and magical artifact that hasn't been written down anywhere. Number three, it can be it could be blood of any sorts, a material, any sorts. It could be Phoenix Ash. That's very pricey. It could be Phoenix Tears. Those are very worth a lot. It can be a precious metal. There's a lot. Because number one is, Sorcerer's Stone as he's going into this. He also just did his first Quidditch game. I think he's facing Slytherin. No. Facing Slytherin? Might be. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is Slytherin. Yeah. Where his broom was being beswitched. Cursed. Now, Harry, instead of trying to hold on, drops it. Let goes of it. I should also mention that, yes, McGonagall still gives him the Nimbus 2000 with help of Severus paying a little bit of it as well. But Harry drops it. Drops the broom. Doesn't make it crash on the ground, just drops it slowly as he floats in the air. And as the announcer goes crazy, he says, "Harry Potter, the new Seeker, is flying in the air." As he's holding on just his feet out, he's just standing above everyone else, smiling. His blonde hair and red eyes glitter as he sees Snape, and he sees Hermione lighting his robes on fire. He looks around with his red eyes, and he just sees a switch go by his head as he snatches it. Misses. Crafty little bugger. As the broom stops gurching around as he calls it back to his hand, as he puts it back onto form, and he starts blasting around trying to grab the snitch as he getting it closer, puts his hands out as he puts it, doesn't fall, but reaches with his head to like move around with it, and accidentally just bites and just He grabs onto the broom, does like a full 360, lands on the pitch, spits out the snitch, and so looks around, embarrassed a little bit, puts it up in his hands like a king. So everyone cheers. As I'm trying to get my, but he does not. Hermione. Actually, wait. I'm not gonna invent some stuff. We'll mention other things that happen. I want to do Quidditch. Quidditch is fun, but Hermione says, like, it has to be Snape. It has to be Snape, and Harry says no, it's not. It's not Snape at all. Says, how do you know? I says, because for Witcheroo, you don't need to speak words. You just need eye contact. He was most likely speaking to countercurse, but Halloween pops around, and I think this is where I got my events mixed up between the first Quidditch games and Halloween, because I think Halloween pops up first. And if I have messed that up, that is my fault. That is my fault. But Harry is concerned with when Hermione hears Ron. Now, you gotta understand, Harry is usually right next to Hermione when she's talking. And with that, when he hears Ron talk, he says he's trying to assume, but Hermione just blasts off. She doesn't want to hear it. And he fucking slaps Ron in the back of the head. Like a Crowby smack. As Ron's like, what was that? And he says, as he grabs Ron by the fucking chest, as other people around him too, and he pulls him up to a fucking wall and slams onto it. He says, Ron, I've been telling you for weeks now that words hurt other people. How many times do I have to say this until I get to your thick skull that words hurt? Drops him, looks at him in his eyes, and just says, now, I'm going to let Hermione calm down. But you and me, particularly you, as he puts his finger to his chest, are going to talk to her. As the banquet goes on, he is right next to Ron. But something comes in the way. You hear a door smash open and you see one of the teachers, Coral, go in and say, there's trolls. Trolls in the dungeon. As he says, Harry's like, oh shit. Shit, Hermione. Instantly thinks of her. As everyone stands up, the prefect gets in order, as Dumbledore calms everyone down with instantaneously of his voice yelling, Harry sneaks off, with Ron following behind him as he goes to the girls' bathroom, as he sees a cloaked figure, as he grabs Ron and pulls him off to a corner, as he sees Snape going up to the third floor. Shit. He looks down the hallway. Okay, we gotta go. As he sees the troll as he... Now, in this scene normally, they lock him in the bathroom. Harry is not dumb enough at this current moment to lock the troll in the girls' bathroom. He fucking probably realized. So what he does, he tells Ron, goes into the bathroom. I'll extract the troll. You go to the bathroom and get Hermione. As Ron says, what? You can't. He says, Ron, go. as Ron rushes and goes and opens the door and grabs Hermione and like knocks on the door, and Hermione's like, "What do you want?" As he says, "There's a troll in." Harry is trying to, as right now Harry is walking. There's a troll run and try as he walks slowly to it. By a little bit of his nail, just forgot how weak you were. His body and mind not fully strong yet to open the full gate. At least only one full gate and shoot it out. I'm at 45% of my full strength, maybe 50. Like it. As he sees Ron, nod at Harry, and Harry waves as Ron's scared, but he says, as you hear, just a quiet run. As Ron runs to the corridors, as he opens a gate, uses his wand to spin the weapon, particularly a spear. Spin it as super fast, and he said, as the troll comes up to slam down, as he tilts the gate up a little bit and just says, "Watch this," as he shoots it at Mach 1, blowing off the head of the giant and piercing the fucking, like, I don't know, the roof, as the weapon falls, as it disappears into his gate of Babylon, as the giant falls over in a pool of blood. He, walks around and just says, "Damn, you suck." As he looks at the club, he looks at the giant and says, not giant, ogre, "Someone let you in." As he hears footsteps, he says, "Shit," as he, quickly disappears. As you see Snape, McGonagall, Dumbledore, well, not Dumbledore, Snape and McGonagall particularly, Quirrell, and a couple of the other teachers surround the troll as everyone sees the troll with the head blown off. And they're like, as Harry pops up with the rest of the trio, as Harry grabs Hermione's hand and says, smiles, as the rest of them smile at each other too, knowing that this friendship is not going to be broken. You can't do something like that and break this friendship. As this is where we're going to end the video off. Sorry if some things were a little bit out of order, but we're getting the storyline down. But thank you very much, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.